Okay, so this is an addition to the syllabus video, the introduction. Actually, I have an introduction, then a syllabus video, and then I'm going to talk in this video about the required materials for the lab. Okay, so on your syllabus, I have I think it'll end up being 3 pages, but on the second page, the required materials are a 3-ring binder. So it's really important. I want you to have something in one central location. I'm going to give you a packet of all the paperwork at the beginning of the semester. The only thing that you're not going to have is information about the final, but everything else I'm going to give you on the very first day of class. Okay, and it'd be nice if you had it in a 3-ring binder that you can bring. You can actually use, if you get one that you can add you can put a piece of paper in here, you can put your current drawing here, and then on the other side you can put the drill chart. So I'm going to give you all that information on the first day. A number 2 pencil, I don't have one of those with me, I should. But that would be for taking the safety test, and then again for taking any notes in the lab. You know, you can have a pen, but for the test you need a pencil. And then the final test, you'll also need a number 2 pencil. The calculator, definitely, don't rely on your phone. You can get like a very cheap $2, $3 one that doesn't have function, but for our 153 class and some of our other classes, you're going to need the trig function. So these are only about $10. The Casio one, this is kind of actually older, the FX250, but I think the current one is FX350, or maybe it's a 250, and literally $10, and this is very reliable Casio. Definitely have that, or a cheaper, smaller version for when you're in the shop to do calculations. A number 3 center drill, here's the sample here, and don't get a long one. Make sure this is a center drill with a 60-degree angle. Most of them will be, but occasionally a student will bring one that has a 90-degree tip. And I'll share information about where to get those in a minute. Safety glasses. So this is really key. The thing about the safety glasses is definitely shop around and spend a little bit of money, because you're going to be wearing these all the time. And you can buy ones with really good lenses that fit really well, and you won't even know you're wearing them. So you're going to have to professionally, at least, you're going to want to get used to wearing them. But I also want you to, be comfortable when you're wearing them here in the shop as well. The 6-inch steel rule, and I wrote on there a 5R. This is really key. I have a black face one, which I don't necessarily like, the black with the white lettering. I think the silver face with the black lettering is actually better. Don't get a longer one like a 10-inch, and make sure it's a flexible one too, just like this, but 5R, and that gives you 4 different measuring divisions on each, two on each side of the 6-inch. So we're going to be using this quite a bit. The test forms, it'd be great if you can bring them. I will have some here. I know we have, it's kind of limited in our access to campus, so if you can get those ahead of time, that's great. If not, I'll have some for us. A black Sharpie. I carry mine everywhere. You're going to use this quite a bit. It's a good thing to have. The 3/8 edge diameter edge finder. This is a really good sample. Some of them have like a conical tip on the other side, but I don't necessarily like those. I like just this one. It's spring-loaded, and we're going to be using this on our second lab day. So we really want to actually get all of this lab stuff in and have it with you for actually our first class period, because of the situation. We're going to be doing a little bit of an accelerated lab. So that's the edge finder, the 3/8 edge finder. And then I also have a 3/8, so you can see that it's a 3/8 by 3/8 by 3-inch high-speed square tool bit. We'll be using this on our second lab day. And I'll be taking this from you on the first lab day and grinding these as your lathe tool bit. So we're going to be using these right away. The machinist apron, I'm wearing a really good example. It has rivet holes, and then if you can see in the back, it crisscrosses around my back, so it's a lot more comfortable to wear. This is like a cheaper version, like a little bit of a baker's apron or another shop apron. This is acceptable, but again, on this one, you can see this would be pulling down my neck instead of how I have it crisscrossed, and it doesn't pull on my neck. So you might have to shop around a little bit more for a better quality machinist apron. And in this case, I have these nylon ties, but if you didn't have the nylon ties, you can just get some shoestrings, some really long ones like the 54 inches, and I can help you tie that and put that together for you. I don't like the smock ones that have sleeves, and I've wore it for years, and in some cases it's good because it's dirty, but I was wearing it in the shop here and my cuffs would always get snagged, so I went back to just wearing a machinist apron. And then another suggestion is a small handheld notebook like this. So you will be writing down, little calculations, and so this is really key to have. So, here's the other 6-inch 5R, the steel one. The other thing I would suggest, it's not on the list, but I really, really highly suggest you get not a red toolbox, a toolbox like a 13-inch, 10-inch toolbox, something small enough that is going to hold all of this, maybe even and your projects. Your projects aren't very big. And I'm not going to be assigning lockers this semester, so you'll be carrying this to and from school. So it doesn't have to be real big or real heavy. Some of the stuff, maybe when you're done with the project, obviously you don't have to, and it's graded, you wouldn't have to carry that back and forth. But it'd be nice if you had a small little toolbox for everything. The only other thing I would suggest you buy, that's also not on the list, is a set of parallels. This is around $30 from Harbor Freight, and each one of these parallels is in a division of 1/8 of an inch. So it goes, I think, from 1/2 inch all the way up to 2.5 inches tall. And this will make your time on the mill go a little bit faster. If you were going to stay in the industry and you're going to work in a shop and you're building a toolbox with inspection tools and machinist tools, this is what I would suggest to buy. I would not suggest necessarily buying inspection equipment yet, unless you're going to spend a little more money. Maybe you could buy a nicer caliper like a Mitutoyo or a Brown & Sharp if you were going to purchase any inspection equipment. But I would not go out and purchase a cheap version of inspection equipment, because they usually don't last, and you're better off, waiting to spend the money when you're going to stay in the profession. And those would have resale value as well. So what I did, included in the packet I gave you, or I will give you, and this is also available in Canvas, is our tool supplier list. If you show them the list, or show me even the video, any of these shops should have all of these tools ready. I think the first one, US Shop Tools in Anaheim, is pretty good, even if they might not have the nicer version of the apron. They might, they might have different versions, and then you can, I'm certain, pretty much get everything off of Amazon as well. And so if you have any questions about this would be under the file as tool supplier list, and I'll include that again in your daily packet when we first meet.